Long ago, around 1650 BC, enemies called the Hyksos attacked Egypt. While the enemies were there, the Egyptians learned how to use war chariots. The king of Egypt, the pharaoh, became very mean and scary. New pharaohs rose to power who had no memory of Joseph's wisdom. He was afraid of the Israelites. He forced the Israelites into slavery, making them build cities by baking bricks under the scorching sun. Fearing that the Israelites were becoming too many and too strong, Pharaoh gave a cruel order: no Israelite baby boy shall be allowed to live. In 1550 BC, Egypt gained the rule of the northern from Hyksos. In 1500 BC, Egypt fully gained control over the Kush and started to expand its territory. About Israelites, one mother loved her baby very much, so she hid little Moses in a basket and let it float on the river. Luckily, the Egyptian princess found him and raised him like a prince, but he never forgot his roots. When Moses grew up, he saw his people being hurt. He did something wrong trying to protect them and had to run away to the desert, where he became a shepherd for 40 years. When Moses was an old man, 80 years old, God called to him from a bush that was on fire but did not burn up. God said, "Moses, go back and save my people." Moses returned and asked the Pharaoh to let them go, but the king said, no. So, Moses performed miracles that brought 10 terrible plagues. The Nile River turned into blood, frogs covered the land, darkness covered the land for 3 days. Tiny insects called gnats swarmed humans and animals, to prove that his God was stronger than all the Egyptian gods. After the saddest plague took the Pharaoh's first son, the king finally was afraid and agreed to set the Israelites free. But the king changed his mind and chased them with his chariots. At the Red Sea, Moses raised his staff, and boom! The sea split into 2 giant walls of water so the Israelites could walk through on dry land. When the Egyptian soldiers tried to follow, their heavy chariot wheels got stuck, and the water crashed down on them. At Mount Sinai, God gave the 10 Commandments, good rules like, listen to your parents, and, do not steal. Moses went up the mountain to get 2 stone tablets with these rules carved on them. But because he was gone a long time, about 40 days and nights, the people got scared and made a golden calf to worship. When Moses came back and saw this, he was so angry that he smashed the 2 stone tablets on the ground because it was not true with 10 good laws given by God. Later, God forgave and allowed them to build a tabernacle, a beautiful tent for God to live in, and let Moses make 2 new stone tablets just like the old ones. When the Israelites reached the border of the Promised Land, they became fearful and lacked faith. So, God declared a punishment: everyone who was 20 years old or older would not be allowed to enter the Promised Land. They had to wander in the desert for 40 years until that entire generation passed away. After Moses passed away, a young general named Joshua became the new leader. With the help of a brave woman named Rahab in the city of Jericho, Joshua successfully led the new generation across the Jordan River and into the Promised Land in 1404 BC. While the Israelites were struggling to find their freedom, other parts of the world were also very busy. In India, the Aryans were moving into the Indus Valley in the east. They brought with them the brilliant Vedas, sacred songs. However, unlike the Israelite law which applied to everyone, they created a strict caste system, which divided people into different classes, from noble priests to lowly slaves. In the Americas, in faraway Mexico, the Olmec people were also using stone to do something amazing. They carved colossal stone heads to honor their leaders. These were the very first building blocks for all the great civilizations of the Americas that followed.